So thanks everybody for being here today. We really are trying hard to stay up to date on the latest developments and talk about implications for our community with COVID-19 as it's really moving forward in our conversations and in what we're having happen in our community. I do want to say that as the health officer of this health department in Eau Claire City County Health Department, as a nurse and as a parent of 4 kids, I really, this really matters personally to me and professionally. What we're doing in this community makes a difference in all of our lives, and I'm one of those people in our community that has that impact as well on me. I also want you to know that we have a team of people at the health department that have an enormous amount of skill and background. Our incident commander for this incident, Marissa Stanley, is a master's prepared infectious disease epidemiologist, and we are really counting on the professionalism and the background of the people that we have in this community to really move forward as we take steps in this incident. Today, we have 2 major announcements. I think many people know that the governor made an announcement a little bit ago, and we're going to be talking about local impact of that. We'll share that first, and then we'll talk about some local things that are happening and that we are working on locally. Today, the governor made the announcement around a couple of key areas that are important to know about. We've sent that out broadly. Again, social media and our website are places to get that information as quickly as we're able to get it up. We've also sent the information out broadly via email groupings. Please share this in the community. The first is that school closures, the closure of the buildings of school and the school instruction has been ordered until further notice under the public health emergency. With schools closed, we know that childcare will continue to be a real issue for people in this community. And we are working to sort through how to fill that need. There are many community agencies that have stepped right up and have been willing to partner. If there's a need in our community related specifically to childcare, please call 1-800-782-1880 or visit childcarereferral.org, and we will make those resources available. Again, school closure is being expanded by the governor indefinitely with the public health order. Today, the state also placed a moratorium, a requirement that gatherings of 10 or more people would be in effect as of 5 p.m. today. So a very specific list of places and organizations that are exempt from that, but there is an order now that 10 people or more are not to assemble except for some specific reasons. So that does include government, and that does include childcare and a number of other specific exemptions. We can talk about those later, but at this point, those 10 or more are considered not to be happening. Restaurants are included in that, as well as taverns or bars, except for takeout meals. So bars and restaurants will be closed in Eau Claire after 5 o'clock today, except for takeout. Again, this is an enormous challenge. We understand that. It's a challenge for having not groups getting together of 10 or more people for all kinds of reasons, and we understand the challenges of that. We are still asking a lot of questions of the state about the details of that order, and as we know more, we will let the community know. We also know that struggling businesses exist, and the order from the governor also included modification of unemployment and insurance requirements for workers impacted by COVID-19. We again expect to hear more from the governor's office about that. Finally, today we were also given notice that there will be new prioritization of testing for COVID-19. We have more people needing testing, and the state is prioritizing so that we are really focusing on those most at risk. We're prioritizing testing as well. We are now going to talk about local updates. As of today, there are still no local positive cases for COVID-19 in our community in Eau Claire. Please know that we will immediately update the community when and if that happens. We are getting regular updates from the state about their numbers as well. Again, that's happening at least once a day. There are 72 positive cases in Wisconsin. There is community spread in Wisconsin, and announced today that community spread is in Madison, Kenosha, Dane County, Kenosha County, and in Milwaukee. We expect that that will be added to over time. There have been more than 1,000 negative cases of tests done for COVID-19 in Wisconsin. Tests continue in Eau Claire as well for anybody that meets the criteria. Of the tests that have been run in Eau Claire, again, all of those are negative. More than 50 tests have been done, and they are either pending or negative at this point. We are really fortunate that we have a community that works together. That's been one of our strengths all along, and it continues to be a strength. Today, our local government partners are going to be sharing declarations that we are making at a local level. Those proclamations of emergency are in relation to COVID-19 pandemic. The specific action that they'll be announcing today is really to give us some flexibility to prepare and respond to what we think is moving forward and what is really a rapidly changing situation. We have leadership from each of our governmental units, both Eau Claire County as well as the city of Eau Claire and the city of Altoona, to share a little bit more about that. After they share, I'll come back and we'll do some closing comments and then we'll take questions. So we'll start with Nick Smyer.
I'm Nick Smyer. I'm the chairperson of the Eau Claire County Board. Let me mention first of all that our county board will meet this evening as scheduled with precautions that we have set in place. Our community team has been working very hard for a number of months leading up to this point to monitor and prepare for the changing COVID-19 situation. This emergency declaration enables us to do the following. First of all, providing the ability to seek state and federal reimbursement for our preparedness and response activities that have been ongoing and will continue to be planned. Second, it also provides a space for rapid, efficient, and science-based decisions to be made by our elected officials and their staff. And third, if the need should arise, it also provides a way to put in place measures that are more protective than state recommendations to ensure the health and well-being of our citizens and to slow the spread of COVID-19. I turn this over now to Dale Peters.
Thank you, Nick. I'm Dale Peters, the city manager for the city of Eau Claire, and I'd like to just recognize and our appreciation for the leadership that the health department is providing during this very stressful time, and the partnerships that you're seeing that are coming together to work on this. And the resolution declaring the emergency is a shared and cooperative approach by the county, the city of Eau Claire, and the city of Altoona. And it is an excellent example of the partnership and the collaboration and the strength of those partnerships that we have here in Eau Claire. So this emergency declaration is being put forward to help us prepare in partnership with our neighboring cities and towns so that we can do some specific things as local government. First, it's going to allow us to be flexible and timely in the way that we can respond to this national and state emergency, which does have a strong potential to have local impacts. This declaration helps us to implement those necessary community responses. On a very practical level, it's going to allow for remote attendance at city council meetings or board meetings, and it also allows us to cancel board meetings that perhaps we deem as not essential, while facilitating reasonable accommodations for those meetings with social distancing recommendations if they do take place. It also will allow us to cancel our special events that have been scheduled between now and April 29th, and offer the flexibility for us to reschedule those to be planned later in the year. And with that, I will turn it over to Mike Gowat, the City Administrator of the City of Altoona.
So just follow up on some of the comments. We are planning a emergency meeting tomorrow with Altoona City Council on behalf of Mayor Pratt and myself. We just want to thank everyone that's been involved in this, especially the health department who's provided amazing leadership during these difficult times. It is important that we are working together because if one community works in a vacuum, it's not going to help deter the spread of this disease. We are continuing to review our operations every day, the county, City of Eau Claire, City of Altoona, to make sure that we can continue to provide those essential services that our community expects and deserves. At the same time, there will be modifications to our operations in order to assure that the health and safety of our community is at the top of our priorities. So we'll continue to work with the city and the county, the health department moving forward. This will be rapidly changing. You may see times when our operations are shut down to the public, but we will continue those essential services, and I'm very encouraged by the response that we've had here and enjoy working with our partners. So.
Thank you to our team of government leaders. I think we have an amazing opportunity to really be working together as we take the next steps in this incident. The declaration really does, across the board for all of our entities, give us the ability to meet local needs in an efficient and effective way, and we are moving forward with those declarations today. So we know that things are rapidly changing. When we talked to you yesterday, we again have more updates today. Things change quickly in the state as well as at the local level. The new declaration of emergency may seem alarming to people in this community. Again, I want to reiterate that we do not have any COVID-19 positive cases in the community at this point. The declaration of emergency is really to give us a new tool in the toolbox for a variety of reasons in order to respond effectively and efficiently as we have been all along. Please know that community members are our biggest priority for all of us in government. The health and safety, as you just heard from three partners that just spoke, health and safety of our residents is our top priority. You've heard some practical reasons why we're moving forward with those declarations, and we see this as an opportunity to be more prepared and respond more efficiently. Know that we may soon have COVID-19 cases in our community, and we want to be ready for that. Again, we urge people to not panic, but to prepare, and we've urged our government partners to do the same. So we're pleased that they're here with us today. Some ways that all of you, again, can continue to prepare. Wash your hands. Again, I think people have all heard that message, but again, wash your hands and stay home if you are sick. Each of us needs to be responsible for that simple measure. Visit our website and join our social media links if you are someone that is willing to do that. Please also use our COVID phone line if you have very specific questions that you can't find answers for on our social media sites or on our webpage. Again, that number is 715-839-4725. We also are encouraging people to be prepared with 2 weeks supply of food and medicine. Again, that would be needed if you were in contact with a positive COVID-19 case and needed to stay home to self-quarantine. We are really encouraging people not to go out and hoard and buy supplies. We need to have supplies available for everybody in our community. We also are following the order today of canceling events larger than 10. The health department is taking this seriously. An event over 10 except related to the exceptions, will be canceled, and we are communicating that clearly. In cases where we are continuing to meet, like our time today, we are encouraging social distancing, and certainly we may be taking additional measures when and if we have community spread of COVID-19 in Eau Claire. All of this is stressful, and I understand that people in our community are stressed. We all need to take time and space to process the information we're receiving, to lean on our personal support systems, to get the hugs from our family members that we need. That is still okay. I went home yesterday and got a hug from my daughter. Those things are important for all of us. Turn off the media if you need to. Sorry to say media, for a little break. We need to take care of ourselves during this time. There is a state hotline that's set up for people that are having challenges with being able to just process all of the stress of this information. That is a Talk With Us number, and you can text Talk With Us to 66746, or you can contact the phone number at 1-800-985-5990. Again, we have no COVID-19 positive cases in Eau Claire. We continue to prepare for that, and we continue to respond to the real issues that are happening in our community. And we're available for questions now. Certainly. We have communicated to all of the licensed establishments in Eau Claire County about this. It obviously just came out. They all received the email. We have authority to follow up if we have places that are not following the order, and we will do that. We do not currently have capacity to go out and check to see if they are following the order, but certainly when and if we hear that any establishment or organization is not following the order, we will be doing follow-up. Again, the question is, what would we do if we found out? We are really counting in Wisconsin and in this community, certainly, that people care about this and they will be following the order. Certainly, if that's not happening, we will be doing follow-up. Yes. We've done over 50 tests since this COVID-19 pandemic has started. We have, I don't have an exact number at this point in time because it's constantly changing, but as of this morning, it was that. And we know testing is happening. Again, our strong encouragement to the general public is that testing is not needed for asymptomatic people or for people that have minimal symptoms. The prioritization for testing is for a smaller group of people, not different than what we do, for example, in the influenza season, where we don't test everybody for influenza. So to use our resources appropriately and accurately, we're asking for testing to happen with our priority population, and at this point in time, we've done more than 50 in this community. Other questions? Mhm. So the question is around local healthcare facilities and their plans for non-essential procedures. We do understand that all of our healthcare providers are making plans for what they need to do. I don't have information right now, although we will be having conversations with them and be providing that to the media likely tomorrow about where healthcare is at for planning for things like that. So we'll make sure to answer that question at our meeting tomorrow. Healthcare is dealing with a lot of influenza. They're dealing with the usual emergencies that happen in any community, and prioritizing is what they need to do. Again, from the public health emergency perspective, I will say that having a local declaration is helpful. We certainly have authority at the local level to do what we need to do right now, but this is happening very rapidly. So working proactively to pull together what we need so that when and if we need it, we have it in place is just a much more efficient way to operate. So for our community at this point in time, it made sense to sit down and talk together about how we would make that work and meet the needs of the different jurisdictional needs and have that in advance up in front and ready to go. Is that a fair response? And Nick, to tap resources. So federal and state resources will be available. They are being identified, and having the ability to tap those resources as part of the county level declaration to bring resources into our entire community, which is critically important. Any additional questions? Again, we really appreciate people staying on top of what's going on locally. We appreciate the opportunity to keep you up to date on what's happening at a state and national level as well. This is constantly changing, so please stay on top of it with us and work with us as we try and keep people moving forward in a productive way and in a way that will keep all of us healthier and safer. Thank you.